Let your imagination soar with Audible. With stories across every genre, from expert advice to fantasy, you'll be inspired to imagine new worlds, possibilities, and ways of thinking. Listening can even lead to a positive change in your mood, habits, and overall well-being. As an Audible member, you'll get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including bestsellers and new releases. Allow yourself to delve into the spooky this season by listening to classics like Stephen King's The Shining and Pet Sematary. There's more to imagine when you listen. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500.
Credit Karma is your evolved financial assistant, making managing your finances simpler and more tailored to you. Join us at creditkarma.com to start your personalized financial journey today and continue to grow with our innovations. Credit Karma. Evolve your finances.
Let's chat. It's hard. You want to talk? I know, that's disappointing. Sit back. Let's work this out. How's it going? What are we doing here? Where are you going? Hey there. Wow. It's not always easy. It's amazing if you think about it. Let's think about this. Strange. I have some thoughts about that. Life is hard. Trauma bonded.
Oh, yeah. How you going, mate?
Oh, Terry, how you going, man?
Did you just rock up, mate?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go have brekkie, though. And then a cheeky sticky. Come join us.
Aye, mate. I can't. I have to pick this parachute.
Aye, Terry, just pack you later. You've got plenty of time.
Oi, I've got no time, mate. This parachute needs picking.
Oi, Terry, just have old Nubo Polly pack it. He's a right hockey bookie bloke. He needs to learn.
I have, mate. He's a real bogan. He's just not ready.
How hard is it to pack a parachute, Matt? Come on.
Aye, all right, mate. Oi, Polly, get on ya. Come over here and pack this parachute. Do a ripper, eh, mate? You've got time, but get a dag on it, mate.
Wow, you're really good at it.
I spent so much time on this today.
You really practicing?
Looking up certain words.
You just rock up, Matt. I said Matt. In Bluey, they say me, so.
It's like a really long, flat A. Or really, like...
Matt.
Bulbous A. Matt. So it sounds like an A.
Oh, wait, that was a cow, sorry.
Should we do it over time?
No.
Okay. Welcome to Trauma Bonded. I'm Elly Westberg here with Therese Garcia.
Hello, hello.
And today we're discussing episode 334 of the podcast. This is actually happening. What if your parachute didn't open? A brief. Brad grows up in a working class but idyllic country setting with a strong family full of love. He's the fourth girl with 3 older sisters. He says he has a girl brain. He's a child of the obese experience, and he doesn't know why, but he thinks it has to do with eating his feelings. When he hits high school, he has a tough experience as overweight, gay, and emo. His life takes a positive turn when he comes to America for a school exchange program in college. He makes a best friend and discloses to that friend that he might be gay, and that friend's response is everything. He tells him it's no big deal and to go back to Australia and explore. And Brad does. His life starts to open up into the one he wants. And then someone gets him an extreme voucher, a ticket to skydiving. His whole family comes to watch, and well, his parachute doesn't open, nor does his emergency chute open, and he careens into a golf course, but lives. His physical and emotional recovery is long and fraught with terrible hurdles you'd expect, but his pragmatic therapy lifts him out and saves him. He keeps showing up for himself, and though he grieves the life he was about to begin, he's excited about his current one 11 years later and is grateful for this experience. And full disclosure, I am the showrunner for This Is Actually Happening, and T knows nothing about anything. She comes in fresh. And this show, Trauma/Bonded, is for the listeners, a space where we can talk about each episode, digest it, and reflect on it with empathy and also a bit of levity. That's Trauma Bonded. T, what stuck out to you as the heart of Brad's story?
This one was a tricky one, I thought.
Yeah.
I had a hard time. But I went with one word on this one. Entangled.
Okay.
Right? Literally.
Yeah, big time.
Literally, the parachutes get entangled. And that's ultimately what causes the malfunctioning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's entangled in his own kind of web of guilt. And self-criticism, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's been going on throughout his life. He's entangled within himself, right? Within his own kind of internals. It kept him internal.
Mm-hmm.
And he's and he's hiding his true self just to try to be one of the guys,
Aki bloke.
A blokey bloke.
Aki blokey bloke.
I thought it was blokey bloke. But, and now he's free or getting free.
Yeah, he kind of found his way out of his entanglement.
Yeah.
Really, literally, step by step. And that kind of is what feeds into my heart.
Oh.
Just to keep showing up for yourself. We've all heard that a million times, but to think about what that really means is powerful. It's really just one foot in front of the other. Just keep going. Toward what? I don't know. But things will change. They will evolve. It's just slow and long. And lots of hits will come, but just never give up.
Yeah.
As John Lennon said, life's what's happening when you're busy making plans. Enjoy the journey, not just the goal. Also, continue to resist Scott wanting me to skydive. It's never, ever, 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 ever going to happen. Ever.
He wants you to skydive?
Yeah.
Has he skydove?
Divin?
Is he skydiving?
I has skydiving many moons ago. No. But he really wants to. You've done it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the once.
Just the once, but I was really into it.
You gotta tell that story, I think. How old were you?
Maybe 22, 23.
Oh, same as Brad.
Oh, yeah, totally. Me and my friend Alicia, we were really kept talking about wanting to skydive. And so we decided to do it. I remember we got super wasted the night before. And I was kind of hungover. And I had the same experience as Brad, inching towards the door in the airplane. I was like, ooh, I'm not sure. This is kind of
trying to dig into the floor.
If we slow this down a bit, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then, and the same exact thing too. It was 1, 2, or 3, 2.
Yeah.
And then it was already, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And you are free falling for what feels like an eternity. I think it was a minute. I don't know. And even before this, by the way, we did get a training. But with tandem, it just feels like really nothing. You are really useless. You're just there.
You were tandem, right?
Yeah. It's so.
But they probably set up the expectations, right? He talks about there's this moment where you're supposed to feel this change in velocity. And that's when the chute has sort of grabbed air, basically, to slow down your descent.
Yeah. I think I missed that in the training because it was a really fast training. It was a 3-minute training. Just
oh, wow.
Be there. You're fine. I don't know. It's so long ago. It's decades ago at this point. But when we were free falling, it was totally amazing. And then there was that change in velocity that I wasn't anticipating. I didn't even know was happening. And I really thought something terrible had happened, because you're going so fast down and then it's woof, and you get pulled up basically.
Yeah.
And then it was just so amazing. The whole rest of it, even parachuting down and kind of just flying, soaring. We're kind of going around. I also jumped off with a cameraman. I do have a DVD of it.
And then the landing, I imagine, even if it's purposeful, it's still kind of rough. It looks it's rough.
It was a bit rough.
Yeah.
I mean, I kept my legs up. They kind of dealt with everything else. But it's not the softest landing in the world.
Yeah. And then when you're on the ground, is there this moment of, I didn't die? Or did you really even have that fear?
I didn't really think about it. I didn't really even think about it at all that I could die.
Were you just I hope I don't puke on the way down because I'm so hungover?
No, none of that. None of that was happening. It happened so fast.
Yeah.
I remember being up in the plane and just not even understanding that, this is really dangerous. You could die. I was probably thinking I was invincible too at that age. Like nothing can happen to me.
Yeah, definitely. And then once you're down on the ground, is the parachute just meant to just like kind of float down behind you? Is that what happens?
I think so.
Would you do it again? Now?
No, I would not do it again.
Tell me why now. No.
Because of the story?
Because of the
No.
story?
No, because all I think about now is death and how close it is to me. Back then I was like, la, la, la. Look, a bird, whatever.
I guess you have a lot more responsibility now. You wouldn't want to
Yeah.
leave your kids.
Well, also, I thought
Fatherless.
about my kids doing it. And I was like, I hope they never want to do it. And I remember I didn't tell my parents that I was going to do it.
Oh my God, T, that's so
I told them
you.
like the day after, or even when I came home.
What was
Like,
your
by the
mom's
way,
reaction?
Oh, I played it.
You
That's
just
what
showed
happened.
them the
Yeah.
tape?
But I'm here, I'm here, and I showed it to them. They're like,
I would have loved
"What?"
to see a reaction video of your mom watching that.
I think at that point they're like kind of used to it. We're not telling them anything unless I wanna.
Wow.
So you would never, ever, ever do it. Why would you not do it? It's exhilarating.
Don't need it. Don't want it. The sensation of falling isn't. I'm not into that.
Yeah.
I don't like anything about it. I don't like going up in a plane that's rickety. I don't like the landing scares me because of my previous knee injury. I'd be afraid that like I'd hit the ground and it would pop my knee out of joint.
Oh my God. Ouch. Yeah. Would you let Scott do it by himself?
Yeah, I think you should. Let's make sure that life insurance is in place first.
Up the number a bit.
Up the limit. Make sure that beneficiary line is clear. Okay, let's talk about Brad. I think it's interesting that he started off his story talking about his parents' amazing work ethic and how they were madly in love. It feels like these two pieces of information really informed how he wanted his life to be set out.
Okay.
So that's why I think it was particularly upsetting for him when, I think it would have, anyone would feel that way. But when, his whole plans are derailed at that age and you're trying to sort of mirror model what your parents have done, and that definitely wasn't in their story. It probably is bewildering. He keeps mentioning how it's bewildering being thrown off this track. But anyways, his family has built this home in the bush, and it's a house full of love. And he didn't know they were working class because it was so plentiful. He's the fourth girl, and this is hard in rural Aussie outlaw country because of blokey stoicism. He mentions being a child of the obese experience, which I've never heard, but I
Never heard
they put
either.
it that
but
way. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I
I
was
feel like it could be a band, like the obese experience. I don't know.
yeah. I feel like I was part of that experience.
Yeah, I feel like I also had that experience. Also, the adult obese experience.
Yeah, child, adult.
I think it's interesting how he examines this genesis of being fat. And I also have done that many times. But it mostly was around eating your feelings.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I did.
Mine was about secrecy.
I was going to say yours was about secrecy.
Yeah. I got a secret problem.
Maybe mine was eating my feelings too. I mean, I was in the closet.
Yeah.
But now I'm out of the closet. Am I still eating my feelings? I'm just eating.
And I do mine out in the open now, so.
We're owning it more.
Anyway, he gets to high school. He's overweight, gay, and emo, which just sounds tough.
The perfect trifecta.
And he has to pretend, and it was really funny when he goes, "Oh yeah, boobs."
That sucks.
Oh yeah,
boobs.
mate.
Oh yeah,
Boobs.
toads in your face.
Yummy.
Ugh. Sorry.
It's funny the way he says it, but it is sad. And I hate, I look back in high school and middle school and think like how everything was so important and so huge and so dramatic. And to be hiding and like having to act a certain way just makes me feel so sad, even though it was really funny the way he said it. I mean, did you go through these conversations where you just were like, oh yeah, Derek is so hot. He's
Yeah.
so hot.
Yeah.
I love his abs. Oh,
Yeah, there was a lot of that happening, and I was just like, okay, anyway, can we play basketball?
right.
Can we all take our shirts off and play basketball?
Should we take a shower? Is it just not yet? Okay.
No? I Well, let's get sweaty.
Oh, boobs. Mm.
Oh, not boobs. Oh, wait.
I mean,
forgot.
chiseled abs and penises. Yummy.
So weird.
But were your girlfriends like, Therese, don't you like him? Like trying to like push you into liking somebody?
Oh, totally like
Yeah.
him, like him. Like that? Like
Yeah.
that. The worst. And then you start to believe it. Like I
Again,
was believing it myself for a while.
that you could be straight. Like you
Not
could.
that I could be straight, but that I mean, yeah, I guess, but like that I thought like somebody was attractive to me, like a dude was attractive and I wanted to like kiss him or something. I can identify attractiveness, but I like the jump is like wanting to be affectionate or kissing,
Right.
any kind of, you know.
Because you get along famously with dudes and you have close dudes that are friends. So
And I can identify if they're cute or not.
right. And at that stage, though, you're like, well, maybe this is what attraction is supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
You don't really know. And it's hard to separate out.
I just don't want to touch them.
That's the ultimate test, I think.
This was way later in life. There was like what were you playing? We're playing spin the bottle or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to kiss the people, you know, and like it would hit like girls and stuff, like, all right. And then it hit a dude. And I just couldn't, it was like, he was so close. We almost did in the middle. And he was in, like, I just kept backing up and he kept going for it. I just kept backing up and I was like, all right, I'm done. And it was just like,
Curfew, gotta go, bye.
yeah, sorry.
So that he talks about there's nothing around to validate him. So he had to hide. And this is sort of where the self-hatred begins. Again, it's sad. It makes me sad. It makes me think of like kids now having to go through that. Because you're really just finding out who you are. And then all of these messages are saying, hey, this thing that you're figuring out who you are,
Yeah.
you can't be it. That's fucked. Those messages to receive is fucked. So you're really just finding out who you are, and everyone's telling you can't be who you want to be unless it fits sort of this checklist of maybe like hot cheerleader, football player, something, right? Or what we perceive to be the elite of high school, you know. It's sad, but it gets me excited. Not like that, but like I'm excited because it's also the start of a life that's going to be more seasoned and more thoughtful and more hard earned. And it's so hard in the moment when you're dealing with it, but like I know, you know, those kids are going to end up like the best people. You know what I mean? I mean, those people are my favorite people today. What do you think?
So those people are your favorite people?
Yeah, people that always had to fight a little bit harder for their place in the world.
They are now, I think, right?
Yeah.
But I hope that we don't have to be all doing that nowadays.
I know that you have kids and you don't want to think about that, but it's almost unavoidable.
You think? I'm going to try to avoid it.
You want them to be a little bit tough, though, don't you?
Well, I want them to be tough.
Yeah, you don't want them to just sail through without any struggles and like that in the real world. It's not realistic.
Well, yeah, but you can still be tough, right? Without having to
have serious traumas.
Yeah.
Or be completely excluded.
Yeah.
Alienated.
Yeah.
Picked on.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully.
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
I guess we will. Because I had all that, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But he thinks he's a gross, disgusting monster. Again, it makes me so sad, but it's like you want to grab that kid, that teenager, and go, you're going to be okay. You're going to get through this and you're going to be okay. And it's going to make you better. It's going to make you better.
Yeah.
But what really pulls him out of this is going to college in Louisiana.
Louisiana. That's the solution for everything, isn't it? Have prom? Go to Louisiana.
Go to Louisiana.
New Orleans.
And that's I think most Americans that aren't from the South or from that area would also say that would be a big culture shock to go from where we are to Louisiana. So for you go from Australia to Louisiana, it seems like a crazy big move. And were you offended by his American accent?
Honestly, I didn't think he was doing the American accent. And then he's like, sorry for the accent. And I was like, oh, were you doing an accent? Did you think he was doing the accent? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm used to Brits. I guess, sort of like affecting one, like, "Hi guys, where are we going today?" Every Brit that tries to do an American accent sounds like that. to
Pretty
me.
good. I mean, we tried to do an Australian accent, and
Yeah.
it's really like, they're not, what is that?
That was just us
What noises are you making?
getting.
I was not offended, though.
That was just us getting him back for his terrible
Yeah.
American
Oh,
accent.
because you were offended?
No, I was not offended at all.
I wasn't offended at all either.
But tit for tit, yeah, from Australian outback, not just Australia, but Australian outback to LSU feels like a big crazy change. Although he probably could get along with the Cajuns. He makes his best friend, and he confesses that he might be gay. And his friend, what an amazing friend,
Yeah.
says, "Oh God, man, no worries,
No worries.
No
Go
worry.
back to Australia
and have fun."
and experiment.
Now, this feels like a big turning point, and it got me thinking. It makes me sad and embarrassed to think of what I would have said when I was 18 or 19,
Oh, no.
and a gay confided in me what my reply would have been, because it feels like this is such a huge turning point for him. It really like starts sending his life in this new direction. The whole like him being so nonchalant about it, and he didn't have to think about it. He was just like, "It's cool, dude. Like, go for it." Like, this meant so much to him. Like, what if his friend would have said the opposite?
Yeah.
"Oh, that's no good. You're gonna
Go back to
hell.
Australia.
Go back to Australia and keep
Hide
it in the closet. Don't tell anybody. Go to church. Pay your tithe." I mean, doesn't it feel huge?
Well, I'm hoping, though, that he could get from, once you're talking to your best friend a ton, you kind of understand their biases or phobes or whatever.
Phobes?
That I don't think.
They're phobes?
Yeah.
What's a phobe?
Phobias.
It's
Homophobes.
phobia?
Homophobias. Let's say phobes. That
We
you
don't
would
fuck with
know.
the phobes over here. Take your phobe ass and get out of here.
That makes sense. That you know that you wouldn't feel safe coming out because you already know.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was hanging out with you, we were friends, we were 18, when I was 18 and you were 30 or whatever, and I was like...
And you knew I was a bigot.
Yeah, like, why would I be like, is that okay with
I'm
you?
a total
You'd be like, no
phobe.
way.
You're not going to confide
You're
in me.
a phobe.
Yeah.
And
That makes me sad.
that maybe I wouldn't confide in you, but I also might not be friends with you.
I know.
Yeah. You know?
I know. I hate that.
It's just not a safe place. Well, but you later,
No, I know. It's just those glimpses of moments when you look
did
back
anyone
at
come out to
yourself.
you?
No.
Ever?
No.
Yeah.
Because they knew.
Maybe because they
That
knew.
makes me sad.
Oh, it's okay.
Never drive 2 hours to a first date. Ever.
Yeah, that seems like a lot. I drove an hour for a third date.
I took a train to Vacaville for a first date.
Why'd you do that? Who's that?
I don't actually remember his name, but I brought a bottle of Bushmills to like give to
Oh,
him.
God.
But I ended up drinking too
Yeah,
much of it on
yeah.
the train, and I got wasted, and then I was trapped.
In a train for hours.
No, in his home,
Oh,
and it was awkward because I had to wait for I couldn't just leave. I had to wait
Yeah.
for the next train. We never saw each other again. It was one of those.
did you meet him online?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. Yeah, don't do that. But it worked out for him.
He dates. He feels confident. He loves his body, and he gets a job at breakfast radio.
Yeah. Is that just like morning radio?
I assume, yeah. Morning drive time DJs.
See, he said breakfast radio. He didn't say brekkie radio.
Yeah, that's interesting. And for his 21st birthday, he's given a voucher for extreme activity.
Extreme thing to do.
T, what are you going to do? Hot air ballooning, rally car racing, or skydiving? Go.
Was it hot air ballooning? What was the second one?
Rally car racing. I assume it's like a high speed car kind of situation, like at a racetrack. You
I
get
like
to
that.
go
I want to
around
do that
and-
now.
Yeah, I think that I have no desire to do hot air
I think I
ballooning.
want to stay on the ground.
Yeah, I
at
want
this
to stay on the
point.
ground. Although the cars are most the dangerous place to be. ironically.
Oh,
It
more
does feel
than
safer. Yeah,
Well, you feel more in control.
I guess.
The other ones, you're definitely not in control.
It's an illusion.
I mean, you're driving it, right?
Yeah, that's true. The whole family comes. Also, this is what I don't understand. He was really purposeful about making sure he was the last jump of the day. I feel like I'd want to get it over at the start of the day.
I did the morning.
Because it's just like,
first.
yeah, he's just feeling anxious all day.
All
Like,
day.
why do you think he wanted to pick the last slot?
To have the most time, right? And
But why would you want that time?
not be rushed. Well, if you're doing it, you're not rushed. Nobody there is rushed really, and they're just like doing the thing, and you get to enjoy it more than be like, okay, we got to get this going so that the next people can go.
Yeah, I guess. But I just feel like he says, the longer you wait, the more the anxiety is going to show up for you.
Yeah. I got to do it. I woke up, I was like, oh shit, like we went there and like, let's jump off. Yeah. Like, okay, we're done now. Let's get some brekkie.
So he goes up 15,000 feet. He's having to yell on the rickety plane, which I also wouldn't like at all. Any last words? Yes, I hope my parachute opens.
I love that he's like, idiot. It's like, that's not because he said it.
I love this guy. Like,
it's not because he said it.
He joked, buy me a drink first, when he tandemed them.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, we are this guy. The dark humor in the face of fear and anxiety, I think, is the way to handle every situation.
I think so.
I guess as you're careening toward your death and you're thinking about your final words, it might feel a little bit more trite at that point. But looking back on it, I think it's funny. I mean, when I was getting mugged, I was saying all kinds of funny shit. So you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
None of us are getting out of this alive. So why not have a laugh about everything? But I don't like his characterization of himself as an idiot. I think it's the way to go. I think that's how you cope best.
I think so too. And they probably enjoyed it too. Everyone's enjoying a little just humor.
Levity. Yeah. He is pushed out of the plane. He's enjoying it for a while. And then he's like, when's that sudden jolt and change in velocity?
Isn't that going to happen, Sam? Bam. It's like, oh, damn.
It never happens.
Never did.
There's this shift that they told me to expect, and it hasn't happened. And since he's waited around all day, he probably is going over it over and over and over again. Okay, I'm going to be free falling for 8 seconds. This is going to be lovely. I'm going to feel this sudden shift in velocity, and that's the parachute coming out. And then I'll be able to feel like relief, and we will gently glide to the earth, and it's going to be amazing. And okay, he's done the free fall part. I'm smiling. That's into it. Okay, where's the parachute? Where is it? And he turns around and looks, and I probably would too.
Are we doing this? Looking up, and
that shoots out, and it's like shooting,
and he's struggling and
not parachuting.
Yeah,
they're just twisted together, and then and your tandem guy Bill isn't calm anymore. He's flailing about, elbows and knives, right?
Yeah. It's already hard to untie things, but if you're with the velocity and the only seconds to do it, there's no way.
They're tumbling out of control. Like, I can't even imagine what this feels like. And he's trying not to fall out of his harness, which just sounds like a nightmare. And it reminded me of this time that Scott made me ride this lay-down roller coaster at some place on the East Coast. The ride was like Superman, and you get in like the car as normal, and then when you leave the station, it like tilts everyone forward, back like you're flying.
Yeah. Superman, is it the Superman one?
Yeah,
that one was really fun.
It's fucking horrible. I basically had an anxiety attack the whole time because all that's holding you in is this chest harness, and all my brain kept doing was playing out this idea where it comes unclipped, it rips in half, and I'm just dangling from it. I was in sheer panic terror mode the entire minute and a half this ride exists. We get back to the station, and the ride like kind of breaks down. So then we're like stuck on it. Luckily, we weren't stuck when I was like hanging upside down. I would have freaked the fuck out. But then I start sobbing. I mean, I was destroyed by this ride. And like Scott and I were new in our relationship, and he was like, "What the fuck?
Are you okay?"
No.
Is your brain just Final Destination all the time?
Yes, basically.
Okay.
I can't imagine the feelings that he's feeling careening toward the earth. Parachutes are fucked.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God.
Bill seems stressed.
This is
trying
really
to
going to
stay
hurt.
earnest. The fuck.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he has this matter-of-fact sort of acceptance that death is imminent. What do you even do with that moment? You could shout out to Bill, a stranger, like,
we're going to die now.
So you really want to say something. I don't know. You'd want to say something like, you want to have your actual last words.
I mean, those are fitting last words.
Hope the parachute opens.
Yeah, and then it doesn't.
Bill, parachute didn't open. And what he feels the most in this moment, he's accepting his death is coming, and what he feels the most in this moment is guilt. Guilt that he's drug his whole family out here and they're going to watch him die.
That would be awful. I mean, I'm sure they don't blame him. Like the guilt feeling.
Yeah.
There's that, but watching your family member just.
Yeah.
That would be awful.
But there's so many other people for him to blame. Like,
yeah.
I get it. You're not going to go through it in the moment, but blame the Packers, blame Bill, blame the person who bought you the extreme voucher. There's so many people you could blame.
Yeah.
But when you're used to assuming guilt over things, that's your go-to feeling. So he slams in. Well, so Bill is able to sort of move them into a golf course as opposed to like the freeway or a downtown building.
Which is crazy.
You're in
free fall.
You're just in free fall. How you could affect anything is amazing. And they crash into the ground. And Brad talks about how he keeps thinking, is this death? It's close. It's got to be happening soon. I mean, I assume you'd hit the ground and have a bit of relief, maybe that you're still alive, but then you have this incredible pain. What really stuck out to me about this scene is the parachutes, all of that fabric being on your head, and because your limbs are injured and you only have one good limb, you're trying to get that parachute off your face.
It's so annoying now.
It's scary. That's to me, that's scarier almost than the rest. And then I was thinking, what if they had fallen in the water?
Yeah.
You have this like
You're
moment
strapped to somebody.
Well, you have this moment of, we hit the water. I didn't careen into the ground. I'm okay. And then the panic would really start in because one, you have basically a dead body attached to you, and two, you have all of the swaths of fabric enveloping you in the water. You could easily drown or
drown that
suffocate.
way.
It made me think about there was a woman. I keep telling you random stories about people dying.
Oh,
there
good.
was a woman. She did a photo shoot in her wedding dress in like a stream or a river or something. And I don't know if you know this, but a lot of wedding dresses have a ton of fabric and really heavy fabric. And when it's wet, it gets really heavy. And basically the dress drowned her. She drowned because the dress like pulled her under, and then she couldn't
Oh my God.
escape from it. And
What an awful, awful way to die.
yeah,
When you're like celebrating something. If you don't learn anything.
never get into water wearing a wedding dress, people. And don't drive 2 hours to date. Okay?
This is all very good advice.
Don't get drunk on a train on the way to a first date.
To see a stranger. It's so dangerous. Though if you hit the water after a free fall from up in the sky, isn't water like hitting the ground?
That's true too.
Yeah.
But imagine seeing that scene on the golf course. You're just like,
Yeah, if you're golfing,
all right,
you had a
Bill, let's
couple.
play through. And you just see these two like writhing, crying men with all this gear around them. Just so random. Insane. And he hears his family, hears his mom's voice. And it's upsetting. Give me the morphine.
Yeah.
He's got these terrible injuries, mostly related to his spine and his neck, and he had to lay flat for 4 days in a hospital bed, looking straight up. Dude.
Going insane.
I would be like, you got to strap a TV up here or something.
Yeah, totally.
I don't think I
Can't
can
you get
handle
like
that.
a phone, just like
Just hanging above.
something, just
But then you can't lift your arms to change it. Like, you're just so dependent on everybody. Oh, I would go fucking insane.
Yeah.
And then you can't even like enjoy, well, just knock me out and put me to sleep because you're having night terrors.
Yeah.
So that there's no relief there.
I have had those dreams, or maybe right before falling asleep or whatever, after like going to ride a bunch of roller coasters.
Yeah.
Have you had that feeling?
Like night terror?
Not a night terror, but like you're on a roller coaster in your dream or something. You can feel the velocity.
I've had the falling dream. But I don't know about that. What you're talking about.
Yeah.
You've had the falling dream, right?
I've had the falling.
Yeah.
Falling from a bridge that has giant holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
like, why are there giant holes in this? And why am I walking? Like, just don't walk on. Just don't walk on. Oh. Yeah, I've had that.
So he is thinking to himself, I am becoming parachute guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which fits because his last name is Guy as well.
His middle name is Parachute. So it's kind of like
Brad Parachute Guy.
Yeah.
He needs assistance everywhere. It's a complete loss of independence, which would totally wreck me as well. He's humiliated. He feels like he's been derailed from his life. He's trapped in his house for 4 months. He has these incredible night terrors. I looked up a bit about night terrors.
Research alert.
I mean, it's pretty much what you would think it is from the name of it.
A terror in the night.
It's not a happy thing.
And it's not during the day.
Surprise. It's a sleep disorder that causes a person to wake up suddenly and feel intense fear or panic.
Yeah. Good research alert.
That's terrible.
But this went a bit further even, is that he'd like get up and do stuff and start, you know.
Yeah, I expected to read something like that, but I didn't. He also is having these dreams about other types of death.
Yeah.
Steamrolling, I think, is an interesting one. Like that Austin Powers scene.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drowning, seeing his parents or his family die. Plus, coupled with, his physical ailments, but then also paired with this feeling of having to start over, right? Like you were excited about what the direction your life was going. Now everything is different and everything's changed and what is next. And he does consider taking his own life as a solution because he's just so overwhelmed with what's going to happen now. His life is derailed, and frankly, he has the tools to pull it off. And when I say tools, I mean pills. But what stops him from doing it, T? Good old-fashioned motherfucking guilt.
Yeah.
Remember last week we talked about sometimes shame is good?
We talk about that a lot, but yeah.
Yeah. This is an instance.
Yeah.
Where he didn't want to hurt his family.
Yep.
So guilt kept him alive.
Sometimes it's good.
Good job, guilt.
Yeah.
Good on you, guilt.
The other guilt, let's not do that one. Those other ones.
Yeah. But sometimes guilt protects us. Maybe.
It did in this instance, at least.
It did in this instance. Yeah. What do you think about that? That all of this is too much for him, that actually considered unaliving himself.
He's grieving a life that could have been, right?
Right.
And now it's this, and it's been awful. It's like months and months. You can't walk, you can't function. He said it so many times, broken and useless and
dependent.
Yeah.
Remember when you were 22 and all you wanted was just to start your life and be on your own and have your own place, do your own things. And what a devastating need.
Yeah.
My mom's got to wipe me. My mom's got to feed me. She's got to help me get dressed. Got to do everything. Yeah.
But at least he starts to get that it's not going to be like this forever.
I think we talked about this. Like, the way I get through things is I just tell myself, this is your life now, and you're going to be doing this forever. And then when it ends, it's just a pleasant surprise.
Oh, nice.
Like painting a room that's helpful in, what? I'm just painting.
So I'm going to be doing
painting
now.
This room forever. This is what I do now, 8 hours a day.
We're doing half marathons.
Yeah. I'm going to run forever now.
You can't keep thinking like, oh, is this almost done? What is this, the 7th mile? Oh, God.
This is what I do.
I'm
I
just
run
over halfway. But no, if you're just like, this is what I do.
That's what I do.
You're like, oh, I did
There's
it.
something about it that tricks your brain. It's so much more acceptable.
Yeah.
Because then when it ends, you're like, oh,
yeah.
What a surprise.
This is nice.
So he's grieving his old life, as he said. He lost himself. And there was this person that existed before the accident, and he recognizes that that person will never be again. He finds out that the reason this occurred is because there was a packing failure. So the original parachute didn't deploy. The emergency chute doesn't seem to do a whole lot.
You got caught in the first one.
Is this an actual backup system?
Yeah, is there another way?
Doesn't it seem like if your first chute fails, like just release it before you really
that'd be good.
Because it's just,
if it's that easily released, though, can it just be easily released?
I don't know.
We gotta figure something, or just give like a giant net. That's the final.
Boy, the net. In 2023, there
everyone's
was
holding it. They're doing this. Oh no, go towards the golf course. Go golf course. This isn't some cartoon.
I said go right. Go right. Your other right, idiot, Harv.
We never have to do this. Let's do it right now.
There's no time. So in 2023, there were 10 deaths in the U.S. from mismanaged parachute accidents.
Was that a research alert?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. 10, huh?
Yeah.
Out of how many?
It's like 1 in 700 or something.
Ugh.
But I found that interesting, considering this backup system doesn't work for shit.
Yeah. You know, for things like that, I like having a plan B, right?
Yeah.
But for things like that, maybe like also a plan C.
Yeah.
Just throw it out there.
Plan D, don't go,
That's one way not to die from a skydiving accident.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
He meets up with Bill, his tandem buddy, and that's when he starts to learn more about sort of what happened. And this is where Bill tells him that he used all of his strength to guide them to a very soft golf course. And he finds out in the news it was bad packing or something.
Yeah.
And he has no ill feeling about the packer.
I'd be like, who the fuck is this packer?
Yeah, who the fuck
Can
is
we
packer?
train the packer? We don't want it to happen again.
Yeah.
Can we just tell the packer, like, you actually do it this way?
And I would want to know, I guess I would just be curious to see, like, can you show me on the ground what a bad pack looks like? Like, I'd be curious to know, like, how easy the error is to make, or maybe how difficult it is to make. I'd just be curious, like, show me a bad packing.
Show me that you're a good packer now.
Show me a good packer.
Yeah. Or did you get fired? Are you still there? I don't know. I'd be so curious too. Like,
yeah,
I'm not doing it to like get revenge or sue or do anything weird. Just
toward learning.
Who is this person?
This is a training
like
moment.
Hidden. Yeah, this is a training moment.
Harv, you did a bad pack.
Let's do better next time, eh?
Let me show me what you did.
Okay, see what you did there?
It doesn't go there at all.
Right. Did you do that again? Did you do that again? Hey,
how many of these have you packed, Harv?
Roll them up in the plane. Freaking Harv.
So Brad has survivor's guilt, and he puts it this way: if a snake bites you, you don't chase him down and ask why. You just dress the wound.
It's interesting.
Is this basically the same as saying shit happens, just go on? We have talked about before, like how you can get bogged down in the why of it all.
It is interesting when he says it's like the easiest thing is to blame yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's right. That's true. Because then you don't have to bring in a bunch of people, talk about it, do the thing. You still don't get any answers anyways.
I think there is this fairness in us inherent, and we do, I think our first knee-jerk reaction is to assign blame. And when it can't be sussed out in a way that is concrete, you would naturally assign it to yourself. I mean, after all, you did make a lion's share of the decisions that got you to that point, including, why did I have the need to do an extreme sport like this? That's stupid. Why? And you're just going to get bogged down in why forever.
Yeah.
You have to, as he says, you have to live in reality.
Yeah.
And the whole why debacle just got him into a bad place. So he tried to change what he asked himself, and he changed it to, will I ever? And I think this is more manageable for him because he can say, will I ever walk again? And he can answer himself, yes. And then he can give himself like sort of that goal to me. I'm going to put one step in front of the other, literally, and I'm going to learn to walk again no matter what it takes. And it gives you this chance to maybe give up stuff you didn't want. Will I ever skydive again? I can definitively say no. So I got that worked out.
That person at the party, right? Guess you won't skydive again, eh? It's like, you're an asshole.
That's me. But I would also like be telling I would regale everyone with my tale at the party.
Oh, totally.
But he has panic attacks.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Is it just like because he's still in the trauma, like living in the trauma? It's not like it's just a fun story to tell people when you're not healed from it, I guess.
Maybe when you're not healed from it yet.
I feel like the next day after I keep bringing up my mugging, but that's the most near-death experience I have, even though I wasn't close at all. But like by the next day, I was telling anyone who would listen all of the details of the story. I mean, I guess different people
It's different, maybe.
heal different ways.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I looked up if surviving a parachute malfunction is rare. It is.
What is it? 1 in 1 trillion? He said. I know it's not that, but
9 people total
oh wow.
ever. 9 people total
Huh.
have survived a fall from that height without a parachute.
They're 2 of them. They're 2 of them. Him and Neil.
Oh yeah, there are 2 of them. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
That was per Quora, guys.
Ah, Quora. Thank you, Quora.
Whatever that is. And he talked about how therapy saved him. And it was because of this pragmatic approach that was science-based and not just chit-chatting with somebody. He had to recognize that it wasn't him that was broken. It was just that things happen. It's not a flaw in him that made this happen.
Right.
It just happened to him.
Yeah.
And he turned the story from feelings to words by telling the story to his therapist over and over again. And they examined night terrors and the science span sleep, and that helped. And he was able to work through the guilt, and he talks about the relief of guilt leaving you, which I think I felt from time to time, and it is pretty amazing. And he can't keep asking himself, what if this accident didn't happen? He's like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can't help but put yourself in this alternate universe where it didn't happen. How does life look like? What does life look like? It's just not worthwhile. It's empty thinking. It's not going to get you anywhere. And it's been 11 years, and he sees healing as a continuous thing, and he has gratitude for the experience. And he says someone did die that day.
Oh.
And he's had many funerals for himself. And I love this.
Yeah.
That we continue to change, and we can have funerals for past versions of ourselves. And the fact, and we'll go back to the shame I felt for my 18-year-old self. The beauty of that is that I got to a point where I could look back with shame that I was able to change and to see that past as undesirable. That is what true change is, right? To look back at your past self and feel embarrassed. But it's a good thing.
I mean, where would you be now if you were still her?
I would be Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's mean and chubby and in politics.
Well, me or none of those things.
Thank God. And he just says he kept showing up for himself. And that's just what we're going to do. We're just going to keep showing up for ourselves.
You gotta.
Every day, every moment, you got up, you took the recycling out, you made fun of your partner, you wrote a script in Australian language. You keep plugging away. You keep plugging away. It's going to get better, you guys. Sorry. I couldn't pull that out. Everything is great. Keep going, queens.
Sounds good.
Thank you for listening. This has been an episode of Trauma Bonded. You can find our show, our podcasts are kept. Please rate and review us. Thanks to Brad for sharing their story and giving us the opportunity to talk about it. And thanks to the This Is Actually Happening team, including Whit, Missildine, and Andrew Waits, and the maker of our music and website, Nathaniel Trimboli. And thanks to Cathy Sitzes for editing this episode, and to Katie Capel for building those blasted Instagram posts. Please subscribe to us at YouTube, on YouTube at youtube.com/@TraumaBondedPodOfficial. You can find that in the show notes so you didn't catch that. Go to our website, Instagram, email us. We are trauma bonded to the story, to the storyteller, to the listeners, and to each other. Thanks for spending time with us today. Love you, T.
Love you, Elly. Good job. Hey, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
ended.